Welcome to the EZU course about multi-policy invoicing. In this course, you will learn how to create multi-policy invoices in EZLynx accounting. So, let's get started. Please note, this video is intended for users who have access to create invoices in EZLynx accounting. You can create a single invoice for multiple policies with similar due dates, simplifying billing for complex accounts. This improves customer payment flexibility by letting customers pay over time without requiring multiple, separate installment invoices per policy. Additionally, this allows you to spend less time creating, tracking, and reconciling separate invoices. First, let's discuss how to add multiple policies to an invoice. Please note, you can add up to 10 policies to a single invoice for the same insured. To do this, select the Actions button on a customer's overview tab, hover over Additional Actions, and click Add Invoice. On the Create Invoice window, choose Create Invoice, then choose one of the policies you want to include on the invoice. You'll add the rest of the policies in the next steps. Now, select the Create Invoice button. On the Create Invoice page, click the Add Policy button at the top right. This will open a side panel. Then, use the Policy drop-down to choose the next policy you want to include on the invoice. All the fields will be pre-filled with the policy details but can be edited as needed. Next, select the Add button to add the policy to the invoice. Repeat these steps until all policies are added to the invoice. Each policy will now have its own option to add a line item, which can be found on the policy header. This will create a line item that is associated with a specific policy. To add a line item associated to a specific policy, select the Add Line Item button on the top of the page or on the policy header. This will open a side panel. Note, the policy is already selected. You can use the Line Item Type drop-down to select the line item, input the amount, then select the Add Line Item button to add the line item to the invoice. Please note, policies and their associated line items are grouped together on the printed or draft invoices. As usual, line items can also be added directly to the invoice and not applied to a specific policy. To apply the line item to the invoice, simply click the Add Line Item button at the top of the page rather than on a header. Depending on if you're adding a line item directly to the invoice versus a policy, the fields available will automatically change on the Add Line Item side panel. Repeat these steps until all line items have been added to the invoice. As always, make sure to review the invoice's totals, commission splits, billing companies, and line items before creating the invoice. As usual, you can always click the Save as Draft button at the bottom if you need to pause and come back later. When ready, click the Create Invoice button. If you are in the middle of making the policy for the invoice, you can also start this workflow from the Policy Shell screen by changing the Billing Type dropdown to Agency Bill and changing the Generate Invoice dropdown to Yes. This will then take you into the same Create Invoice page we just covered. Check out our multi-policy invoicing article for some best practices. Also, check out our Creating Installment Invoices video. To learn more about accounting in EZLynx, check out our accounting playlist. That's all for this EZU course on multi-policy invoicing. You should now have the knowledge to create multi-policy invoices in EZLynx accounting. Thanks for watching.
To learn more, select the support icon to the left.